Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be using this Tesco Finest 00 grade pizza flour, and we're going to be on a bit of a mission to save you some money on a pizza budget buster. So we're going to be making two fantastic pan pizzas with this flour, and we're also going to be making a Neapolitan style pizza. So please stick around. So the protein levels in this are 12.8%. So let's get down to the recipe. So we'll need 600 grams of water. That's fine. And then we're going to need 3 grams of yeast. And then you need to mix those together. So you probably can tell with the amount of yeast we're putting on this recipe is if you've got no pizza dough ready and your friends are coming round and you need pizza dough quickly. So gradually start to add in the flour. Perfect. And then you need to mix it with a fork. Using a fork, just make sure that all the lumps are out of the flour, and it makes kneading a whole lot easier. That's fantastic. So we'll pop in a little bit more flour. So it goes through several stages. When you're making the pizza dough for the first time, you'll end up with a batter-like consistency, and then you'll build up to more like a pastry type consistency. And once you get to that stage, that's when it's time to put it out onto the work surface. So just adding the final bits of flour in, we'll give this a bit more of a stir. And as you can see, it's starting to come really thick. I'm having to work a bit extra hard now with the fork. So this is a really fantastic flour and great value as well. So let's put some flour onto the work surface. Just save a little bit of flour so you can scrape out the bowl. So let's scrape the contents of the bowl out onto that bed of flour. And then let's just put a little bit of the last bits of the flour, that's all of it in, now into the bowl, and just have a bit of a scrape around. Doing this, just make sure that you get all that dough out of the bowl, and we're getting the best value for money. So now that bowl has been cleaned out, what we need to do now is to start to fold in all the remaining flour that's on the bench there, you can see. Once that's all in, we then can start to knead, but we really need to just gently fold it in. It will go in. It might not look like it and feel like it at the time when you're doing this recipe, but it really will. It's just about being patient. So just a quick shout out to my subscribers, all 780 of you. Thank you so much for your support. So we just need to knead this for 10 minutes, and once that's done, we'll then be able to be in a position to cover it and leave it to rest. So this Tesco's Finest 00 grade pizza flour, it's brand new from Tesco's. I think it's fantastic. This is a short pizza dough recipe, but what we'll do in the future, we'll do a longer proof. So shape it into a ball. Really looking smooth now. Look at that, it looks fantastic. Nice and smooth. Spin that round a little bit more for you. And now we need to cover it for 3 hours. So after 3 hours, uncover it. Look at that. It's expanded rapidly. And that's due to all that yeast that we put in. So we put in 3 grams of yeast. So normally, as you know, we'd try and keep yeast down to a minimum. But because this is a quick recipe, we've had to triple up on that yeast. So time to put in some salt. So add in the salt, and we need to then fold that in. And that just makes sure that the salt is nice and evenly distributed. So whilst we're putting this in, the dough is really soft. Now, because it's a short recipe, this one, and we're not doing much proving, it is liable to break. It's not as strong as it could be, so it needs a bit of an extra knead, just for 5 minutes. But as I say, it's always best to have a bit of a longer prove. But if you are in a rush, this quick recipe is fantastic for you. So shape it into a ball. Brilliant. So we need to cover it and rest for 1 hour. So after the hour, here we go. Take it off, and now we need to make the pan pizza. So 300 grams pizza dough required. Fantastic, spot on. Now you can use a cake tin or similar. These are from Poundland, £1.25 each. And then we need to place the pizza dough inside, and we need to try and push it all the way to the edges as best we can. So it is quite relaxed, this dough. There's not much spring back in there, so it didn't take me too long to manipulate it into the edges. And there you go, it's all ready. So put it in some cling film. No shower caps this time, unfortunately. I wish there was, but we're having to use a bit of cling film to wrap it up. So wrap it up loosely. This just makes sure that the dough doesn't dry out whilst it's in the tins. So we need to rest that for 1 hour. Now, you didn't think I forgot the Neapolitan pizza, did you? So we need 230 grams per pizza ball. So we're going to get 4 with the dough that's left from this Tesco's Finest 00 flour. So just shape that into a ball. Fantastic. And it really, really was behaving really well. And then we'll use one of the pizza tubs that we've used previously from Poundland. Just dip those in a bit of smaller flour, and there we go. And with these, again, you need to let them rest for 1 hour. And after the hour, it looks like this. So let's just have a look at the ingredients. So £1.60 for the flour. And for the mozzarella cheese, it was any two for £4. That's the first one that I got for £4. And this is the second one, the grated mozzarella. So any two for £4 at Tesco's. Plus 95p for this pepperoni. The pizza sauce that we used with this stuff, and it was £1.85. And £1.20 for your yeast. So here we go. Let's see if pizza doesn't have to cost the earth. So let's try with the pan pizza first. So just pop any air bubbles or push it out. And we'll go on with that sauce. So spreads quite easily, really, really nicely. That's fantastic. So you don't need to push the sauce all the way to the edge. You need to leave a bit of a crust. So about a centimetre of exposed pizza dough would be fantastic. That'll give you a nice crust on the edge. So we'll put a bit of that sliced mozzarella on. There we go. And we shall put some pepperoni over that. Fantastic. And when we put all that on, we'll put a bit of the grated mozzarella over the top of that. So here we go, this is grated mozzarella. So meat on top or cheese on top. So we did both in this video. So you're going to see cheese on top, but there's some pictures later. So into the normal oven for this one, 210 degrees. And then after 15 minutes, there we go, a fantastic looking pizza. I forgot how hot metal can get in an oven without my pizza peel. So on it to the work surface, let's have a look underneath first. So scoops straight out underneath, that looks cooked. Now, it's not going to be as well cooked as what it would be in the pizza oven, but it is cooked, but it hasn't got that same browning effect. So let's open it up and have a look. Again, it's more soft than it is crispy, but that's kind of how a classic takeaway pizza would be, nice and cheesy. Look at that cheese pull, that looks fantastic. And here is the pepperoni with the meat on top, just for you. So don't go away just yet. We haven't forgotten the Neapolitan pizza is coming up next. Is this the best pizza? No. But is it cheap? Absolutely. So here we go with the Neapolitan pizza. So that is the pizza dough, and that's had now 2 hours rest. So when you remember the picture previously, you'll notice that it was a lot smaller than that. So it's still not quite as soft as we normally would like it, but if you're just a bit more firmer with it and just using the steering wheel method, now you just got to be really careful because it's not as strong, because it's not as long to rest. This pizza dough recipe could be prone to the base tearing, so just be careful. So on with the sauce, and just making sure again we're leaving enough gap just for a nice crust. So that's that on. So a bit of Parmigiano, nicely done. And next we're going to stick a bit of that sliced mozzarella on, and we're going to put a bit of the grated mozzarella on. Now, I haven't got any fresh buffalo stuff like I normally would use. That's always a must for a pizza oven. It does burn as bad as these grated mozzarellas. So on with the pepperoni. Fantastic. And now we will put it onto the peel. So into the pizza oven, 400 degrees. I'm not editing any of this out, this is all done in real time, but the pictures are speeded up. So not a problem with this pizza dough getting off the peel, came off nice and clean. And as you can see, those pepperonis are starting to cook really nicely, and we're getting a bit of sizzle. Sorry about the wind, this was filmed in January 2023, and in Sheffield we had a bit of a windy evening on the Saturday. So if you have used this Tesco's 00 finest pizza flour, please let me know in the comments, let me know what you think. And if there's anything you want me to try, any particular flour, please let me know again in the comments. So we're just turning that now, and look at all that crust, it's nicely rising up, looking fantastic pizza. So we'll give that the, keep turning it, and I'm turning it now because it's really windy, and I'm just trying to make sure that it cooks more evenly. The wind is hitting us quite hard now, so hence why we're using the indoor pizza oven for this video as well. But didn't want to leave you Neapolitan fans out, just to make sure that you've got your pizza hit. So let's bring that out of the oven, looks fantastic. Let's put it out onto the chopping board. So just making some slices, and again, it's not going to be as crispy because we've really rushed this pizza dough. You know, we've done it in just over 6 hours. So what I would always advise is at least 24 hours to make a really great pizza dough. So leave me a comment, what do you think to this method? Is it worth it? At £1.60 for a pizza, I think that's fantastic value. Well, we were on a budget. It's not the best pizza I've ever produced, but it was still very tasty and fantastic value for money. So if you agree with that, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Bye for now, and we'll see you the next time.